Hi guys, how you doing? It's Sunday morning and the night after we completed our historic domestic treble, and there's a little bit of sadness in my voice today because quite recently we've heard the news that Vincent Kompany will be leaving Manchester City. Kind of felt inevitable, really. You know, the fact that he's not signed a new contract, the fact, Ragmani, City loves you more than you will know. The fact that Vinny hasn't signed that new contract, the fact that Pep, for several weeks or even longer now, has been talking about Vinny's injury record and saying he's hardly played the last 4 or 5 seasons. Saying that Vinny, when he does play, we've seen it the last few weeks. When he plays, he's awesome. He's still one of the best defenders in world football. He brings something to our team that no one else does. Ragmani, I was hoping he'd get another year, same as you, Abdallah. I was hoping. He's a City legend. I was hoping he'd get that extra year. Vinny brings something to the table that no one else in our team brings. It is really that leadership. We've talked with other City fans that that leadership is something we just don't have. I think maybe the next leader will be Kevin De Bruyne. He has got that determination. He's got that willingness to criticise other players and demand more from them. We've seen that. He's never happy and satisfied with. I won't say failure, but not hitting the top level. We've seen it in games where he's really gassed at players where they've made a mistake, really angry, really unhappy, and I think that's going to help him drive him forward. And I think he's got to be a captain going forwards. You can tell, Ragman, he's got his testimonial in September. The man goes going, man. Man goes going. You can tell there's a bit of disappointment in my voice, partly due to lack of sleep, and partly due to Vinny's been here for 11 years. He's been at Man City for 11 years. He's been a stalwart of the club. As I said, he's been our leader. He announced it. It's on the Man City website, official website. It's on his Twitter account. His Facebook account. If you follow him on Facebook, he's done part 1 of a 2-part announcement, and the first part was him leaving. The second part of his announcement, which will come at a later date, will be what he's going to do next. He's only 33 years old. We've seen in the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's been playing sometimes 2 games a week. He's still top of the game. Yes, injuries have curtailed his time at the top level. They've had a major impact, and people have forgotten, outside of City, how good Vincent Kompany really was, and still is. He's very well respected in the game still. Most fans would love Vincent Kompany at their team. I'm disappointed. Let's not talk yet about what's next for Vincent. Let's talk about the amazing guy, the amazing career he's had at City. 11 years. He joined, I think it was just a few days before Sheikh Mansour took over. For whom the bell tolls. You shouldn't be crying, guys. Honestly, it's nothing. It's life. It's nothing to cry about. City are still here. Vincent might be going, but City will, keep going forward. Personally, I would have liked him to announce it after the parade tomorrow, because I wanted that to be more of a joyous occasion, and now it's going to be tinged with sadness. But let's look back at Vinny. Let's look back 11 years. He came as supposedly a defensive midfielder, and he evolved very quickly into the best, well, one of the best. Let's not be too greedy, but one of the best centre backs in world football. Unbelievable, unbelievable. His timing, his determination, his hard work, his ferocity in some tackles. Yes, he made a couple of mistakes now and again and got booked or sent off. And yes, his pace, especially in the last few years, hasn't been top level. But look, we've seen the way he's pocketed players like Rashford and Vardy, people with tremendous pace and energy and skill. And towards the end of the season, look what he's done on that. I mean, kind of summed it up with that goal, against Leicester. I mean, that's true Vinny Kompany. That's true City. Unbelievable. Yeah, he's, guy gutted. Yeah, we're all gutted. But Vinny he'll be back here in some way, shape or form. I think his future's in Manchester. His wife's from Manchester. I think he's kind of said that. He's a Mancunian now, really. Via Belgium. He's a Mancunian now. Let's look at what he's won, the major trophies, because, hey, guys, I'm not going to count the Community Shield. No matter what Pep says, in my book, Community Shield is not a major trophy. I mean, there's only 2 teams in it. I mean, you could argue that lots more teams are in it because it's the FA Cup winners against the league champions. So the Community Shield has a lot of entrants. I think there's 736 teams in the FA Cup this season, so any of them could have got to the Community Shield. But still, I'm old school. It's not a trophy for me. Vinny's won 4 league titles. I've got to repeat that. 4 league titles in 11 years. And since our dominance in 2012, in 8 years, he's won 4 league titles. That's phenomenal. I think the only captain to have won more is John Terry. And that was with an absolutely awesome Chelsea side. He's won the FA Cup twice. FA Cup, the most, for me, I think it's the longest competition in world football. Still a prestigious trophy, regardless of the fact that teams might put out weakened sides. It's still, for me, I grew up with the FA Cup. We had 2 main trophies, the league title and the FA Cup. And the FA Cup was one you really coveted. And Vinny's got it twice. 4 League Cups. So it's 10 top trophies in 11 seasons at City. We've got to, rather than just be sad, got to, think about the good times and everything he's done for us. Awesome treble. And the thing about City is, for the last 2 seasons, we've broken so many records. We smashed our way to a treble, beating Watford 6-0, and then the day after, we get our hearts broken. I mean, it kind of feels like that, losing a good mate, even though we don't know him, most of us. I don't know him, but he's been part of this City journey in the last 10, 11 years. That's got us to tremendous heights. You can argue that it's a shame he's not having a send-off like Zaba, but he's got his testimonial in September, and that's why I was hoping he'd stay that extra year, because he's got his testimonial in September. So we've got the parade tomorrow, guys. If you're in Manchester, you can get to Manchester for the parade. Sadly I can't. Coming back up tonight, but my kids, I've got to look after my kids. My wife's staying in London, she's working here, so I've got to look after my kids. I can't, can't just dump them, can't take them with me for that amount of time. And Andy will be going. Hopefully I'll do some editing and put some videos out. So we've got that opportunity to celebrate and say goodbye to Vincent, firstly at the parade, and then his testimonial in September. And what a guy. He's donating the proceeds of the testimonial to Tackle for Manchester, whose homelessness charity. He's doing that with Andy Burnham, the mayor of Manchester. And I've no idea what the proceeds will be for that game. But if you argue that 50,000 fans are, 55,000, we might even fill the stadium for once for Vinny Kompany. No segregation, no opposition fans. We might just fill that stadium. Let's say it was 30 quid a ticket. that's going to be 1.6, 1.7 million pounds straight away. There'll be more money here and there from corporate and other stuff. So I would expect that's to be between 2 and 3 million pounds donated to charity. What a guy! What else can you say? What a guy! Mr. C. Well, Liverpool fans saying that we're a bigger club. Look, it's not a day for who's the bigger club and all that. Petty tribalism aside, Vincent Kompany's going, and it's sitting here in this London sunshine with St Paul's Cathedral just behind me. I'm gutted. There's a feeling of emptiness in my stomach. Maybe that's because I've not had breakfast yet, but I really think it's a bit of sadness and disappointment that Vinny's going. I think he had another season in him, and I would have liked him to have that extra season. Help him bring through whoever is coming. Maybe this means that Nico will stay. Nico Otamendi may feel he's got more opportunities now that Vinny's going. You want to see St Paul's? I'll have a quick walk, and I'll just show you St Paul's, and I'll come back to this great spot. Sorry, you lost me there for a second. Let's have a look at St Paul's in the background and see if I can get a good spot there to have a sit down. Yeah, it's definitely a season too early for Vinny to leave. That's my opinion. Just when, he seems he's got his body back into shape. He's got that fitness to that. He's been playing 2 games every week, top of his game. But I think that he knows the writings on the wall. Really, he's not got that pace, and I don't think also. From City's point of view, it's a huge risk to keep Vincent. It is. It's a huge risk to keep Vincent Kompany, because if we don't make a move for a top centre back, and the rumours are we want another left-footed centre back. If we don't make a move for a top centre back, it may be that we lose that opportunity to get one of the best in the world. For argument's sake, it looks like the feeling is, the rumours are, the strong. A word on the grapevine is that Matthijs de Ligt will go to Barcelona. Now, if we want him, Vincent Kompany still being at City could be a stumbling block for this kid to come to Man City, because he'll say, well, hang on, you've got Aymeric Laporte. It's quite obvious he's your first choice centre back, and Vincent Kompany's still around, and he's also your first choice centre back. So where does Matthijs de Ligt fit in? So it may be that Matthijs de Ligt, I'm just using that as him as an example, or another top world-class defender, might look at it and say, I'll move to City and I won't play for a year, because if Kompany's around and Laporte's around, then how do I get my chance? I don't want to be a cup defender. And what happens if Vincent has a great season and stays for another 12 months? And then Matthijs de Ligt is a young example because he's only 19. He'd be 21 in 2 years' time. Still got plenty of football ahead of him, but he's top of his game. He's a world-class defender already, and he's also a world-class leader at 19. If you see some of the videos out on YouTube of him with the Ajax fans, at 19, he's got it. He's got it all. It looks like. Hope you guys can see a bit of St Paul's Cathedral as I'm walking along. I'll try and get a little bit more of it in. So that's as I said, that's a risk to keep Vincent for that extra season or even 2. You're going to miss out on some phenomenal talent because they're worried about their playing time with Vincent around. So, it might be. I still think it's a season too early. What he showed in the end of the season, but as I said again, it's a risk to keep him. Same with it's a risk to keep Mendy. If those guys, you never know. It could be in August that both of them would get injured, and or even September, so after the transfer window's closed or whenever it is, you could lose both of those guys, and that could really really put a spanner in the works of the season to lose 2 defenders like that and have no other replacements because you're relying on them. And I guess it's a risk that City just don't want to take. It's too much of a risk. So guys, I'll go through some of your comments, give you a few shout outs and some hellos for a few minutes, and then we'll look at what Vincent might do next, and then I'll finish off by just, we'll talk about the brilliant Vincent Kompany again. I'm not sure I can put my phone down anywhere to relax my arm. There's no decent seating around here at St Paul's, you can see in the background. Let's try and get you a good view. Get me back again. No, guys, don't cry, Don't cry about Vincent Kompany leaving. I still want to, even though you're saddened and disappointed and feeling gutted, I'd rather remember the great times. And come on guys, 10 major trophies. There's been some great times. 4 league titles, 4 League Cups, 2 FA Cups. What a career at City. Would he go to a mid-table team? Why would Vincent Kompany, and it's my honest opinion, why would he go to a mid-table team? Because he's still good enough at the top level. Yep, that's like Nathan, he's going out at the top level. I mean, okay, let's have a, think about what can Vinny do. Bob says Vincent is a legend. Absolutely, mate. He'll have a statue outside City for sure. No practice pitches named after him. A statue and a stand or whatever. And if we develop the North Stand, having something about Vincent Kompany, I think there's going to be 3 or 4 players who need something named after them, and that's Vincent, definitely David Silva, Sergio Aguero. I'm not to say, David Silva's been captain when Vincent's not been around, and there's a few of us say he's just a bit too quiet. He accepts things too easily. He doesn't. I think in a captain you want obviously a leader on the pitch, someone who can play most of the games, but someone who'll give it the players when they need to be told that they are pulling their weight. You can argue someone like Roy Keane, Brian Robson, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, John Terry, Vincent Kompany. I don't think David Silva's that man. I think Kevin De Bruyne is that man, and he's still young enough to develop into that role. I don't really want to give it to somebody for 1 season. Fernandinho could be captain, but my man is Kevin De Bruyne. I don't want to give it to someone like Fernandinho or David Silva for 1 season and then give it to Kev. I'd rather just give it Kev, let him develop more into the role as captain, and fingers crossed he stays fit. If he's misses a game, then you can have Fernandinho or David Silva as captain. Yeah, I think the way it feels to me that Kevin De Bruyne could be captain for 4 or 5 years, or 3 or 4 years, whatever it is, and then maybe Bernardo Silva, because I think was it Vincent has already said, he needs to add a bit to his game, and he's captain material. So I'm not going to worry too much about City. We've still got Pep, we've still got great players, and that's not going to disappear anytime soon. So wow, not the video I was expecting to do this morning. I was going to do a nice video in London, quickly talking about yesterday's game and the parade and other stuff, and some of the nasty journalists out there. And I will show you something. It's what my son got me yesterday as a present for my birthday. Show you that. Super Dad. He said it looks like me. He said it looks like me because he's got obviously the mask on. So that's Super Dad. That's what my littlest boy got me. My eldest boy got me a watch. Even though I don't wear watches anymore, I haven't worn a watch for a few years. He got me that. And my wife, well, what do wives get you? A pair of socks. Pair of socks. Thought I'd get a bit more on my birthday. Anyway, thanks, Simon. Well, a pair of socks in, best dad in the world. You can't argue with that. It's kind of what I live for, is my family. Anybody who knows me, it's my hopes and dreams. It's more important even more important than City, although City run them closely in my affections. Yeah, Kompany said he's leaving. David. He said that's it. You know, there's an announcement on his Facebook page, on City's website, that he's announced that he's leaving. I'll try and get a bit more of the St Paul's Cathedral because you guys want it. I'll just walk around a bit more so you can see a bit more of it. So Vincent said he's going to leave City after 11 years at the club, winning 10 major honours. It's a shame we didn't get the Champions League for him. You know, that's the only slight disappointment, but Vinny's a top player. So yeah, he's announced that he's going to leave. Go and have a look on his Facebook page. He talks a lot, you know, thanking players, fans, his family, of course. And he mentions that sadly his mother Jocelyn wasn't around to see him playing at the Etihad and winning all these accolades and trophies. His dad Pierre, I think he's a mayor of a town back in Belgium. You know, who knows what Vinny's going to do, you know, in the next stages of his career. I think he's obviously more footballing for Vincent, but he's a very educated man, very erudite man, well spoken, well respected. He can do anything he wants. You know, he could go into coaching, management, politics, you know, whatever you want. I'll just stop for a second so you just get a nice picture of St Paul's. So hi mate. Yeah, it's good to hear Vinny's leaving. Devastated. Yeah, I mean, man, life goes on. We knew it was, you know, it's hard to take. We knew it was going to happen at some point. You know, Vincent Kompany, he was bound to leave. So yeah, talking about what he could do in the future. Well, what can he do? And as I said, 33 years old, he can still play at the top level. You know, I mean, what if Barcelona come calling for Vincent Kompany and say we want you for a couple of seasons? You know, there was rumours that sorry, I'll get a better picture. There was rumours that they wanted Otamendi. Now, what if they come and say, we'll take you, Vincent, we'll give you a 2-year contract, come and play for Barcelona for 2 years? I mean, that's hard to turn down, isn't it, really? I mean, even though City are top of the game, could see it happening. So I think Vincent's going to play, he's not going to do a Zabba and move down to, let's say, a mid-table team like West Ham, with all due respect to West Ham. He's not going to do that. Vincent's far too good. Still got far too much to offer than drop down the leagues to do that, or drop down the league. So I don't really see that happening. I see him continuing at a decent level somewhere. You know, could it be in England? Well, I mean, I'm just going to sit down on these steps and have a chat. Honestly, if it was me, if I was Arsenal, I'd just say, Vincent, we want you 3 years. We'll pay you, you know, whatever it takes, 300 grand a week. I'll give you £20 million signing on bonus. We'll pay whatever it takes, because he's the kind of guy that would drag Arsenal's defence forwards. If he could stay fit, and obviously that's his issue. If he could stay fit, then he could really make a huge difference to Arsenal. Not to challenge for the title or anything else, but they'll, you know, I think if Vincent Kompany could play 25 to 30 league games for Arsenal, they'd comfortably in the top 4, because it's their problem is defence. So, okay, I'll answer some of your questions, guys. I'll probably round this up to about 30 minutes, so there's about 6 or 7 minutes to go, and I'll just start answering your questions. So fire away any questions. You know, it's mostly me talking about Vincent Kompany, and if you haven't heard, the website's on Vincent's Facebook page. He hasn't said what he's going to do next, and that's the next part of his announcement. He's only done part 1 of a 2-part announcement. Yeah, I mean, De Ligt would be, in my opinion, perfect. He could be. He is the leader. You've seen, if you haven't watched the YouTube videos of De Ligt talking to the Ajax fans, go out and watch it. I think the guy's an amazing defender. He's still only 19. He's got so much potential to develop. You know, we can get De Ligt. He'd be here for 10 years, and City should, you know, be busting the gut to get him. I think one of the issues with De Ligt is his agent, Mina Raiola. He's a greedy so-and-so, and he's asking for a big bit of wedge, and that's going to be a problem. Who's going to replace Vinny as club captain? I hope it's going to be Kevin De Bruyne, because KDB, he's got that drive, determination, that desire to succeed. And he's also got that fiery temper, so a bit like Vinny, you know, he'll make the odd mistake, but he won't accept second best for the rest of his place. Oh, Real is banned for 3 months. Look, he'll do it through a crony, he'll do it through another party. Real will get his money one way or the other. You know, there's no way that De Ligt is not moving this summer. I just can't believe that. It's time he's going to move on. Come on, guys, got 4 or 5 minutes, and let's see. So Mihiris thinks Silva would be club captain. I don't like the idea of having a club captain for one season, so that's my issue with that. Yeah, Vinny's got a blue heart, definitely. Vinny needs a good send-off. You know, I said earlier that it's a shame that he's announcing it today. You know, as I said earlier, we broke all those records in the last 2 seasons. We smashed Watford to get that fantastic, unprecedented domestic treble, first time it's ever been achieved. And then the day after, our hearts are broken by Vincent Kompany leaving. Danny, is Otamendi going to stay? Well, I mean, that could be part of the deal. You know, Otamendi was unhappy with his game time. He knows that Laporte and Vinny are ahead of him. Vinny leaving gives Otamendi more game time. We might be pushing Eric Garcia through as our 4 centre-backs. So Eric Garcia is less likely to complain and make a noise about not playing. And then, you know, maybe we'll rotate between Otamendi, Laporte and Stones going forwards. So yeah, I expected Eric Garcia to come through. You know, and it might just be that Kompany staying around means Otamendi leaves. It means that Eric Garcia's development is stunted. It means that we can't get someone like De Ligt, or we'll struggle to get someone like De Ligt because they're worried they're not going to be able to play, you know, as a first choice for at least 1 season, and maybe 2 if he somehow manages to stay fit now. I can't see Fernandinho play centre back. We need him at defensive midfielder. But it's going to be a lot of change around City. I mean, Vinny going now, I can see, in all honesty, David Silva and Fernandinho leaving at the end of next season, and Sergio Aguero possibly after the season after that. Sane, I mean, we're all up in the air with Sane. We have no idea whether he's staying or going. So as I said, massive upheaval this summer. You know, talk of City getting 3 or 4 players. We need 3 or 4 players this summer. We already needed a defensive midfielder. We already potentially needed a left back. We definitely needed a centre back. And if Danilo goes, another right back. So yeah, look, Pep has made some very astute signings since he's been here, and he's made some great changes where he's converted, you know, Delph and Zinchenko into left backs. So, you know, who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, Vin will be back. That's right, Cheshire Homebrew. Vin will be back in some way, shape or form. I mean, I still see him playing for another couple of seasons. Then he joining Pep's back staff, or maybe going into coaching management on his own before coming back to City. You know, Patrick Vieira has done something similar. Will he come back to City? Who knows? When is the parade, Glenn? Parade's tomorrow. Can't remember what time it starts, to be honest. I'm unable to go to the parade because I've got to look after my kids. It's life, what it is. I can't take them out for that amount of time. And if I go to the parade, I want to be out there all parade long doing videos like Andy. So I think what will happen is Andy will go to the parade, and I'll be doing the videos. I'll put them up on YouTube. Yeah. Guys, I'll give you a couple more minutes. If you keep asking me questions, I'll try and answer them. Keep them brief, and I'll answer them as briefly and as quickly as I can. Yeah. And then suddenly, after all these questions, it's gone. Vinicius, 12 bits of silverware in 11 years, total legend, absolute blue heart. I mean, personally, I still don't count the Community Shield as a trophy. So for me, he's got 4 league titles, 4 League Cups, and 2 FA Cups at City. Amazing career for the guy. Absolutely, you know, legend is surely an understatement. Jamie, are you gutted? Obviously, mate. I'm really gutted, disappointed, heartbroken, so to speak. You know, Vinny's been part of all our successes for the last 10 years. A major part of that has been a major part of our lives, you know. We feel we've got to know the guy a bit better with all his candid comments and the videos of him celebrating with his family. Mohin, I don't know if Rob Harris is the same guy that Fergie banned, but let's not talk about Rob Harris. Let's not give him any oxygen. Excuse me. I don't think De Ligt would not come if he wasn't captain. You know, De Ligt is 19 years old. He's got a long career ahead of him. Chris, yeah, you can argue. I said it earlier. You can argue that Community Shield is a trophy because you know 736 teams run the FA Cup this season, and that means all of them had the opportunity to play in the Community Shield. So it's not just a two-horse race. It's not just that final. Those 736 teams could have been. You missed it yesterday, Chris. I think I took them off twice. You missed the live vlog yesterday. Today I'm knackered, mate. I'm taking the glasses off. Premier League or Champions League? Premier League. Next season, yeah, I'll stick with the Premier League. If we can do that, I'll be very, very happy. Yeah, Ian Ibrahim, news is very sad. Yeah, Julio, it is the Super Cup in other countries, and maybe in the future it'll be counted as a trophy here. City can beat anybody, you know. We were unlucky against Liverpool in the Champions League and unlucky against Spurs. We were by far the best team against Spurs, but you know, Spurs prevailed, and you know, I'm not going to take it away from them. They had to stay in that game, and they had to stick at it. So for them to get through, it's, you know, good for them. But let's try and keep it on Vincent, guys. You know, I'll give you a couple, as I said, questions on Vincent Kompany, and then I've got to go and get some breakfast for my family. Waiting for some pastries for breakfast. I'm just looking at these people sat next to me with the with the love heart shades. You know, I'm that kind of guy. I want a picture, but it's Vincent Kompany, not me getting pictures with the girls. Why wasn't he given up? I think he was offered an extra season, Derek. You know, he decided maybe he's not going to get enough game time. Maybe the club had decided he's too injury prone. Maybe the club had decided, you know, Otamendi will leave if Vincent stays, and Otamendi's got a little bit more years in him, a few more years in him. Maybe the company, maybe the club thought Vincent sticking around would stop a top centre-back joining City because they knew that they wouldn't be first choice behind Laporte and Kompany. Julio, Vincent's testimonial is in September. Potentially he could go to New York City FC, but look, Vincent's still playing at such a level that he's too good to go there right now. You know, that is a massive step down. You know, he can still go. You know, I said earlier, if Barcelona come knocking and say, Vincent, we want you, we need to rebuild, or Real Madrid or whatever, he can go there. Ian, come on, Ian Ibrahim, will we win the trophy because Vincent's gone? Absolutely, that's got no. I mean, we played a lot of the season without Vincent Kompany, so yes, him being around the club does make a positive difference. But I don't think you know, we're going to suddenly collapse after our achievements of the last 2 seasons just because Vincent Kompany has left City. It's going to be a massive haul for sure, but no. I don't. Simon, will he be in the City coaching staff next season? I really, really doubt it. Purely because he's still, I mean, we've seen it at the end of the season, he's still a top-class, world-class defender. And he played every game when he was fully fit. You know, whatever it was, last 6-7 games of the season. Sometimes 2 games a week. So I can't see him retiring from football in a playing capacity. Yeah, Daniel, I think Rodri's coming in. I think another centre-back, left-footed centre-back will come in because we'll have Otamendi and Stones as right-footed centre-backs, and Garcia too. Sandal could be knocking about there as well. Don't worry about it. Yeah, guys, you know, like the video, give us some thumbs up. It's always nice to be appreciated. You know, and if you're not a subscriber to the channel, I don't know what you're doing. You know, get subscribed and pass it around your mates. You know, it'd be lovely for us to get to 10,000 subscribers before the start of next season. Navaraj, no, there's no news on where Vinny's going. That's the second part of his announcement. And you know, I don't think he's going to announce it until after the parade. You know, we don't want to hear that he's going down to play for Liverpool and join up with Virgil van Dijk as an awesome centre-back pair next season. It's not going to happen. He's not going to go to United. Not going to happen. I think it's personally, it'll be disappointing and unlikely if he goes to another club in England. Arsenal needs someone like him, absolutely need him. I hope he doesn't join an English side either, Mahir. You know, go to Barcelona, go to Juventus. I don't mind that. You know, play at top level. I don't want him, you know, drop down, play for West Ham, something like that. Absolutely, Mahir. Don't want to see him playing in for another club in England. Cheshire Homebrew, honestly, West Ham. You know, do you think Vincent Kompany's not good enough for anywhere else in the world? I mean, he's been playing for City. He's been playing for City the last 5 or 6 games, above John Stones, who's an England defender, above Nicolas Otamendi. They can't get a look in because of Vincent Kompany. He's that good. Why would he go to West Ham? You know, why would you finish your career at West Ham? I just don't see it. Maybe not Julio, but look, you know, he's possibly one of the least technical players at City, but you have to be a technical player to play for City, so he's managed it. Who knows? Yeah, we need 1 or 2 new centre-backs, but we never know. Behave, Somali. Behave. You know, we're talking about Vincent Kompany and you're trying to make us laugh talking about Liverpool winning the quadruple. I mean, I'll just very briefly say that. In the last 12 years, Liverpool has spent over £1 billion. So that again, £1 billion on players, and they've won 1 League Cup. 1 League Cup, which is the same as Swansea and Birmingham City. So let's not go there. Cheers, Simon. You know, pass it around your mates. If you got friends, just like football. I mean, we like to do our live streams about football. Lots of football stuff we talk about. It's not just Man City, mainly Man City, but we like to respect fans from other clubs if they're respectful and polite with us. Yeah, Blake, Vinny's our legend. Nah, I don't care about net spend, boys. Net spend. Net spend means you have no desire to win trophies. You're selling your best. Net spend means you're selling your best players. You haven't got ambition. Okay, that's what Liverpool did. That's what any team that talks about net spend. Why? What trophies do you win for that? It's got nothing to do with football. It's got nothing to do with Vincent Kompany. Guys, I'll gonna have to go, guys. You know, it's been great talking to you, and I'm sure we'll do another video later today which sends back Macomb City. Hopefully it's delict. Hopefully we'll do. Nah, Julio, Vinny's not doing European elections, not this time round. Hopefully. You know, maybe we'll do a video with Andy later today. Yeah, I'm not in Paris, Ganesh. I'm in London. You can see St Paul's Cathedral behind me. So hopefully we'll do another video about Vincent in more detail. You know, and I'm sure Andy would like to give his opinions and feedback and thoughts on Vincent leaving and his 11-year career, fantastic career at City. Yeah, I think we'll create a new centre back. You know, I don't think we're going to next season relying on just Otamendi, John Stones, Laporte, and Eric Garcia. Cheers, guys. Take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Hope you have a nice Sunday.